Hi, welcome to the Creative Treehouse. My name is Robin Broom and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Thanks for joining me in the treehouse today. Today's project is kind of a sophisticated sunflower card, and let me see if I can get it to change in the light so that you can see the gold embossing on it. I think it's just, I really like it. So I'll see if I can bring it any closer. So let me tell you some of the dimensions and the colors and papers that we're going to be using. We're going to be using the Crumb Cake is our outer one, and then we've got, and it will be 5.5 by 4 1/4, and then we have the gold foil, which is 5 1/4 by 4, and then the Soft Suede, which is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And you'll also need to do your sentiment out of the Crumb Cake. And you'll also need extra of the Soft Suede to be able to cut out and emboss your sunflowers and your leaves. And let me show you the awesome set, the Celebrate Sunflowers. This is my first play with it, as people say. And we're going to be using the sunflower and just the big leaf, but we're going to be using it 3 different times, and also the sentiment right there. And what else do I need to show you? I'll show you the embossing folder, and it comes from the Greenery embossing folders. There's 2 of them that come in the pack, and this is a neat one to me. It also has almost a what would you call it? The leaves look like they're going this way, and then it kind of switches and looks like it's going that way, although the leaves have not changed, just the way, like an optical illusion. I think that's what I was trying to say. And we have this really pretty, oh my goodness, it's gorgeous, this trim, the gold trim, and it comes from the Forever Greenery combo pack. There are 2 different ones in it, and this one is the thin gold, and it feels really neat. I don't know, it's great. And then along with the stamps, we will be using some of the dies from that sunflower set, just the one for the big flower and also the leaf, and you'll be doing that 3 times. And then the sentiment is cut from one of the sets from the Stitched So Sweetly. That's almost a tongue twister. Stitched So Sweetly sets. And we'll be using Early Espresso and Soft Suede. And I think I pretty much covered the bases. So the first thing that you'll need to do is take your Soft Suede paper, and we'll be putting it into the embossing folder. And the folder is smaller than the paper, but I just put it up towards the end, and I made sure that there was an even amount of Soft Suede on either side, and ran it through the embossing machine. And this is what you get, and it just all their products have just been, they're just top notch. I really, really like them. So there's that one. And then what you'll need to do is also you will stamp with the great big sunflower, and it's a pretty big stamp. And also the leaves on your scrap piece of the Soft Suede, and I've already stamped them and embossed them. So you're going to stamp them with Versamark and pour your gold embossing powder over it and heat set it. Let me see if I can, the camera doesn't always pick up the gold, but it's really, really pretty. And 3 of the leaves, and again they are also heat embossed with the gold. Okay, so then once we have all of that, the next thing that we need to do is we are going to actually cut with our paper trimmer. We're going to cut the leaves and our sunflower. And really what I ended up doing was kind of positioning this where I want. To me, there's a top and a bottom to the sunflower. I'm not really sure if there really is, and positioning all these where you would like them to be, slightly off. And askew, that one we won't have to cut, so we can just leave that one aside. And then I've done it several different ways. One way that I did it was I put some temporary glue underneath these and ran it through the trimmer. Another way we could do it would be to I'm gonna try it without the glue. I've got some leftover gold in my trimmer, and just see if I can do it without a problem. We line it up like that, then cut it. That works on that one. We will not be using those little extra pieces, and then we'll turn it the other way and lining it up. You can line it up on the lines. Let me bring it down so that you can see it like that, and then cut on this one. And then take those little tiddly bits and move them aside. Take our paper trimmer and move that aside. Now we can start assembling, and then what I did for this was I put the sunflower up with dimensionals. So let me grab the dimensionals. The leaves I did not, however. So they're going to be just glued on. Let me do one more. Okay. Pull the backs of these off. There are different ways to do that. One of the ways is to use your multi-purpose tool. I haven't perfected that one yet. Okay, and here's the sunflower popped up there on the dimensionals. And then this one we're going to, like I said, not use the dimensionals for the leaves. I'm just going to use some of the multi-purpose glue. And say one leaf there. The whole leaf that we didn't have to do anything to. We'll tuck it right in here. And then one more leaf, the one that we cut, that'll be at the bottom. We'll put some glue on it. And line it up. There. Let me show you this shiny a little bit. Okay, so now we've got that part. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on our sentiment. So let me slide this away just a little bit. And I cut the gold foil. Oh, I forgot. And what I did with the gold foil, I cut it out of the center of the gold foil piece because it will be hidden up underneath and nobody will know that that came out of there. So that's where the gold foil piece came out. So you don't have to have any extra. You'll just use the one that goes up under here. And then I cut this one, and if you'll notice, they're exactly the same. Exactly the same. So what I did was I took my paper snips and I cut just barely to the inside of the dotted lines, the stitching, and I cut around, and it doesn't have to be exact. You can almost cut on the line, but just a touch into the inside works. So bear with me as I cut this so that you can see. I really like these paper snips. I've had other sets of scissors, but this pair is just great. I love the size. It just moves so much easier than any of the other ones I've ever had. Okay, and then what you'll do is you'll just line it up here, and then you've got your mat, right? And I'm going to use the liquid glue on this one. I go through bottles of liquid glue. I don't know about you, but it's good stuff. And I love the fact that you can manipulate and move your project around. Okay, so now we have that. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh, isn't that interesting? Let me see if I can pull it off really quick. Aha, speaking of manipulating, okay, I'm going to redo it in just a minute. I forgot one of the things that I did was I used the soft suede. The sentiment was done in the early espresso, but the soft suede, what I did was I took the little sponge dauber, and I just thought it gave it just a little bit more dimension to just sponge the edges. And I'll see if you can see the little bit of a difference. Just sponge just the edge around. It makes it a little tricky to get into the corner there. So but we're just gonna go all the way around. Just makes it not look as flat, I think. And just a tiny bit antiqued. I think this one may be a little bit more so than my original. But I remembered just in time, didn't I? And that's the only thing that we'll need this soft suede for now. We're going to do the same thing in just a minute to the outside of the card. All right, let me reapply some liquid glue. Yep, almost forgot that step, just in the nick of time. Now it looks right. And then that can be sort of tucked in just about there. We could even line up the edge here. And what else are we missing? The string. Before we put it down, let's do the gold trim. And what I usually do for that is I will take a tape runner, make sure I get it the right direction, and put a little bit of tape on the back, start my string on the back, and then I'm going to loop it around 2 times. And I think I have a little bit left over. Let me trim that off. All right, and then I kind of manipulate this a little bit to get it to where I want, sort of maybe cross it over itself. And then that's ready. And now we'll be able to tuck that in. And while we've got that out and ready to go, let's put the liquid glue. And I prefer the liquid glue on on most of these embossing folders that have the texture like that, because I just feel like the liquid glue gets into the nooks and crannies and gives you a more secure gluing. All right, let's see. Got that going. Super. Give it a little bit of pressure and hold it just for a few seconds, not minutes. And now we're going to do the liquid glue for this, because this time we do have the twine in there, the trim, the gold trim. And so I think the liquid glue will also give us a better stickage. How do you like that? I'm sure there's a word. All right. There. All right. Terrific. And now the other thing we're going to take again, and this is why I only had like a card face and not the whole base. Didn't make this into a complete base, because when I did it, it just looked kind of plain like this. I thought it looked plain. So what I decided to do is the same thing that we did with the sentiment, and just do a little bit of the sponging with our dauber along all 4 edges of the base of the card. And again, we're using the Soft Suede ink for this on our dauber. And yes, I write the name of which ink is on that dauber. I think it's unusual that it almost looks like a pinkish purple color. So get our last line on here. But just that little bit, you don't even notice it really. You have to be looking at it, but it makes a difference. Okay, so that's my other tip. Let me go ahead and close up our Soft Suede ink. Okay. And let's put some glue on our card base. And then I think, can put it together. All right, it will be complete. So really, it doesn't take that long. The embossing maybe takes a little bit longer, but then you've got your finished product, and it's just kind of classy looking. I like the texture, I like the embossing, like the colors. It's just subtle, and I really like it, and I hope you like it as well. So that was my first attempt with something with the sunflowers, and it's one of my favorite sets. I like that one, and I like the one from last week with the greenery. And I have some more Stampin' Up stuff coming tomorrow. I'm so excited to get to dig into the box. It's like Christmas when your Stampin' Up box comes in. So if you do not have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I would love to help you out, and you can visit my Stampin' Up store and purchase any of these products that we have been showing today. And I would just love it. I would also really, really love it if you would sign up for my YouTube channel. If you would subscribe, that would be awesome. I would love to have you as a subscriber. I'm trying, it's a new channel, and I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers. And as of today, I think I'm around 83. So I would just love it if you would be number 84 and keep on going till we get to 100. And then we'll have some kind of fun party. So thank you so much again for watching, and let me know in the comments what you liked about the card or if you've tried it. And I will see you next time in the treehouse. Bye-bye.